I'm seeing some great things. I think, Martina, can you read all those nice messages for Seabird? The beauties of there's
I'm
so
seeing
many
it.
nice
I'm seeing it.
messages
I'm seeing it.
about
So
Mohawk.
there's a
Come on,
question.
guys. Let's do it
There's
for
a question in
Mohawk.
the chat
Oh,
about does
amazing. I
Mohawk
can't
have
wait.
football?
Wow.
Does
No, you see
Mohawk
that?
have
A lot of
football?
Mohawk people are in here. I'm just telling you that.
There's a question about whether or not Mohawk have football. Yes, we do. So I suspect you're talking about what we call soccer.
Yes.
What we call football in Jamaica, so it's soccer it's called here. But we do have soccer and we do have football as well. That's the North American football. So we do have that. Athletics falls within my area, and we are an award-winning athletic teams. Our team name is Mountaineers, so you can search us up. Yes, we do have rugby as well, and they're also again
Hello.
a winning group for that area. We don't have a debate team, but what we do is that we do have opportunities where students get an opportunity to become to get engaged in different speaking activities.
Hello.
Oh,
Good
somebody's
night.
asking a question. I was
Yes,
looking
Errol?
at Dejali. Okay, Dejali, can you manage the questions in the chat, please? I thank you.
Sure.
Hello, good night.
Go ahead, Errol, we're hearing you.
Yes,
Errol is
Errol
already on the
here.
floor, so can you go ahead, please?
Yes, I have a general question in regards to the embassy. As it relates to the sponsors, what document do I need?
Okay, can I
for the
take that one?
embassy?
Okay, Errol.
Yeah, it's just
student-
the bank statement only.
Okay, let me just answer in one particular way first, and I can continue. But the first thing is that your process dashboard has on everything from start to finish. People have used that dashboard to go to Canada. They book their flights from Seabird. They look for their accommodation on my process dashboard. So once they get on the student portal, they get access to all the tools and the resources. So Errol, it means that you haven't been studying what I've given you. It's a powerful tool. So I'm going to send you back to it because as Seabird and myself, we are there to train you guys. So guess what? When you're on campus, it's the same thing. They will give you tools to operate from, and they're expecting you to make sure you understand that first before you ask questions. All of the information regarding co-sponsors, every single thing, including demos to show you how to fill out the forms, everything is there. So I think we need to have a meeting to discuss some of those things that you're asking. But it's generally there. The co-sponsors information are all there. A checklist is there for everything that you need to have, because we're guiding you through the process, right? Including digital photo, including all these forms, right? So you can speak with me after if you have not seen them, but I would expect you to know what's going on the process dashboard, which is everything you're asking.
Heather, there's a question in the chat, and I just responded about how can Mohawk help their son become a medical doctor. So we don't offer medical programs, but typically what happens is the student can pursue undergraduate health programs and then go on to apply to McMaster or one of the other medical schools in the country. Because of the close partnership that we have with McMaster, a number of students come through either our pre-health program or one of the other health programs and go towards that route.
Okay, my pathway, Seabird, is to go through, and I think David agrees with me on this, to go through biotechnology, and that is one pathway. There are many different pathways, but the one that I find that the students enjoy is either biotechnology straight or biotechnology health.
That's
so
right.
What I ask them to do a research on which one more suits their needs, and then they will decide, which path. And as you said, you can venture into the whole master side of things.
Yeah, I think Nadia had her hand up a little while now. Nadia?
Well, I'm not seeing, I thought David was gonna be dealing with this part, but okay.
Yeah, that's
Hello,
right.
good night.
Okay.
I can hear you, Nadia.
Okay, very informative, your presentation.
Thank you.
But one thing I want to know, based on your presentation, you mentioned something that where Hamilton Heath, you have a harbor nearby, right?
We have what?
A harbor?
Yes.
A harbor center?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
All right. So based on your postgraduate, the programs that you have, do you have any in regards to logistics or supply chain management?
Yes, we do. We offer a postgraduate in supply chain and logistics management, and it's actually one of the leading programs in the province, and we offer it in partnership with the Hamilton Harbor.
How long is the program? Is it a year or 2 years?
1 year.
The 1 year program.
Yes.
Is it go ahead.
What we do encourage though for the postgraduates for the 1 year programs, we have a process now where we are offering what we call a twinning programs. So for international students who are coming, if because of the graduate work permit situation, what we recommend is that you come and do 2 postgraduates. So you can do the shipping and logistics and international business management, which really goes hand in hand. We found a number of our graduates do those programs, and they tend to find that the synergies between the program and the experiences that it provides for them is huge.
Okay, repeat the name of the program that you said, stripping and?
International business management, and we have shipping and logistics management.
Oh, and both of them are 1 year each.
Yes, so I'm putting it in the chat. So we've got the supply chain management, and then the other one is the international business management. So you can look at those 2 programs. You can do those 2 programs together.
Okay, all right then. Thank you.
Welcome.
You're welcome, Nadia.
There's another question, Heather, in the chat about are there prerequisites for biotechnology in terms of CAPE and CSEC? Heather, you can provide all that information. Again, just so that you know that, as Heather will tell you, CXCs, CSEC, they're called CSEC, CAPE, all of those subjects, all of those certifications are accepted by Mohawk.
Right. So just to let you know, guys, you need to just, give me some kind of idea of what is it that you want to do, because I can help to guide you. So guiding you would mean all these areas that are called pathways. I would direct you to a pathway. So you need to have, in general, 5 CSEC subjects, right, including English and math. And then you have, if you're doing anything to do with health or medical sciences, the best way to do it, I think, is the biotechnology route, where you actually have to have some science-based subjects. So it would mean chemistry for sure, bio, human and social bio can get you there as well. Occupational health and safety is also, it deals with physiotherapy. That's another pathway too, and it's going to require human and social bio and maybe one other science subject. So once you're going to be aligning to science, guys, you must have some science credits, meaning from CSEC or CAPE or higher degree. I've had students who went to university, and with their degree, I got them in. Once it can show that you're not doing the exact program that you did at university, because it has to say, the embassy will want to know, why are you studying this area? You're already qualified to do it. So it has to be that you come through me to look at your portfolio and provide some recommendation, if you understand what I mean. I don't know who asked that question, but whoever asked the question, it would be nice to get me onto that, because
they can register with you.
Getting guidance, I think it is very important, especially throughout the embassy process.
All right, there's another question, Heather, from Tiana.
Which one is it from?
Hello, good night, everyone.
Okay, perfect. Hi, Tiana.
Hello. Does Mohawk cater for theater arts students?
Not performing arts, so we do have a wide range of arts programs. So we have music, we have broadcasting on television, but not performing arts, if that's what you're asking about.
Okay, thank you.
Right, there are other colleges, so you can check in with me, because we have other colleges that are more geared towards that, because I think Mohawk, every college, as Siebert will tell you, has a different a signature program or signature programs that you would say, this is the one that I would recommend, because I know the terrain very well now in terms of Ontario, which one would be more suited, right, Siebert? So not everything is done at your college, but I have other colleges that I can direct them to.
That's right.
Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think you missed some questions in the chat, because as Tiana was asking earlier also if Mohawk has any other sport apart from rugby or soccer.
Oh, we do. So we play a number of different activities. We do basketball, we do softball, we do volleyball, golf. So a number of different activities.
You do
Um,
gymnastics as well, right? Because I have a
yeah, and so
yeah.
typically what happens is that when the students come in, the athletic director will send out requests, and then, it depends on how many students want different ones, they will create, once they've got the numbers.
Okay. And I put a question in the chat earlier as well. I was asking if you have anything like Glee Club or like a school choir or a vocal team of sorts.
Not a direct school choir. What we have through our music program, part of our music program, we have a number of students who are specializing in voice, and so they often come together and form ensembles that perform at different functions. We have students who are doing music, and so when the college is having functions, these students will be hired to either sing, to perform, to play. We've got they have a little jazz band that they put together and come together. So lots of different opportunities. We have just next week, Wednesday, for example, we're going to be having a special function, and we have one of our students who's going to be singing the national anthem. So lots of different opportunities at convocation ceremonies, etc. Clubs and societies are usually managed by the Mohawk College Student Association, and so they will offer any clubs where students have indicated an interest. So I'm not sure about a Glee club, but when you come, you just make sure that the Mohawk College Student Association, and we work very closely with them, and the Student Association is an independent body of the college. And their function is to advocate for students and to develop lots of support for students as well.
Okay. I have another question as well.
Yeah.
I'll be there in January. So I am looking to initiate a Glee Club if possible. But I'm wondering about like the study permit application to the embassy. I noted that for the September 2021 intake, that there was a waiver where all programs for international students would be accommodated online until they receive their approval from the IRCC. So is something similar in place for the January 2022 cohort?
We're still waiting to hear from IRCC. So that is in relation to the pandemic travel restrictions. So over the last 20 months, students who had study permits, and were not able to travel because of all the restrictions with different countries. IRCC, who manages this, said that colleges and universities could allow students to start their study from their home countries until they travel. Right now, that is until the end of December this year. We have heard word on the ground that they are going to extend for an additional semester, but nothing official as yet. So our advice to all students right now is that if you have the study permit, you need to start making your way to come into country.
Okay. Is there a deadline?
What information? Wait, 1 second. No, I don't know if somebody was talking.
Is there a deadline for what?
I think they're
For when they need to?
Or when they because if they don't get a reply, but the semester is beginning.
Yeah. So the international team will be in touch with you to walk you through what the different options are, and so if you are supposed to start in January and you don't yet have a response from the embassy, you can always just get in touch with that international ed at Mohawk email and just let them know that, hey, you're still waiting on your study permit. What are the options? Because those are what we're waiting for now, to hear from IRCC to communicate to students. And just for everybody's knowledge, IRCC is Immigration, Refugee, Citizenship Canada. They are the federal government body that manages all immigration issues. in relation to the visa.
Okay. And in the chat you have Almond and Tristan are querying about the biotechnology program, how long it lasts, and just general information on that for them.
All right. Yep, I see that. So the biotechnology program is 6 semesters. So it's 3 years, 6 semesters. Is sign language offered at Mohawk? Yes, we do offer sign language. We have a number of students who are visually impaired, and so we offer a lot of the program. After getting accepted to Mohawk College, does the applicant receive a school email? Yep. The day you get your acceptance letter, you do get a Mohawk College ID, and you do get a Mohawk College email, and you actually can start accessing the what we call our internal intranet or My Mohawk intranet, where all student information and data is. Could you go into details for the biotechnology program? I am so sorry. That's more of a subject matter expertise. You would be able to, if you go to the Mohawk College website and click on programs, you would be able to see details about the program, and it would talk about what the different pieces are. In addition to that, we also run different social media sessions, and again, once you connect with Heather, she can share some of those with you, where the professors from the different programs will actually be on Facebook or Instagram, and they will talk specifics about the program. What are the applicants?
Virtual tour, Seabird? It's a virtual tour.
Yeah, so we will be having a virtual open house coming up, so you can look on the website for those dates. We have a virtual open house coming up where you can log in, you can talk with the deans, you can talk with your associate dean, you can have conversation with your professors. They do walk you around and provide a virtual tour of the campus, so you see a little bit more, connect you with some other students. Normally this will be done face to face, but because
that's what I did last year, Seabird. I hosted it on my platform.
okay, yeah, so information
you guys
will be
can
coming
look
out
out for it.
soon.
Once I know of the date, then you can
Right.
come to my platform and we host it. So we got to talk, right? Remember, Dejali, were you there? And we got to talk to the professors. Remember, were you there?
Yes,
Martina,
yes, I was.
Were you there?
Yes, miss, I remember.
Oh, see, persons are remembering. So I do give information. So they got to
Okay.
talk to David. David was there as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
They frequent social media also, so be sure to check the social media pages.
Right. There's a question about, can you, again, the biotechnology and how that leads to nursing. That's a subject matter specific piece that when you go to that function that Heather is just now talking about, that open house, you will be able to get that. What if the applicant hasn't yet received the email? It means that they're still processing your application. So just give it some time. We've got, this year alone, we got over 10,000 applications for people who want to start in January. Again, you saw the number of countries that we are working with. So 10,000 applications to process for people who want to start in January. So a lot of it is taking some time. So you will hear from the team very soon.
You know what, Seabird? I think a lot of people think it's like Jamaica. So they don't think in terms of those numbers. So they think like, oh, I can just apply now and get through. And they don't understand that it's a process, right? Wow.
Yeah, the difference between biotechnology and biotechnology health. Biotechnology health is just a specific specialization. Again, it's a specific subject matter field that I would not be knowledgeable about, and you'll get more information when you visit those open house sessions. Would you go through biotechnology program for becoming a pharmacist? I wouldn't recommend it. We do offer a pharmacist program, so you probably would want to apply to the pharmacy technician program. All right, did I catch up on all the questions, Dejali? I think I did.
Somebody just saying they're late. Just to add, a lot of the biotechnology questions come to me, and we have a lot of students doing biotechnology. So I think I'm able to answer most of the questions that you guys have with support of the team at Mohawk. Because when we do the virtual tours, the virtual open houses, we get to talk to them directly. Because one thing I know that Canada, well, I know for sure that Ontario doesn't support the nursing straight from Jamaica, and I think pharmacy as well. right? I've heard it many times, even on these platforms being asked, and they have to find a pathway to getting into nursing through these other programs. Like biotechnology is one. There might be others, as Seabird said. We can ask the direct questions, but I don't go wrong with biotechnology. That's one program that I sell very well for those people who want to do anything to do with medical sciences or health sciences. So any one of those two, it can be supported through the biotechnology programs. So you need to talk to me. Some of those questions that you're asking directly to Seabird, he might not, because I deal specifically with you getting into your programs. It might be easier for me to get some help that way, right, Seabird?
Yeah, in terms of the program pathways, again, what you require, some of the questions that I see around the biotechnology piece, it's more of a subject matter expertise to say, what's the difference between straight biotech and biotechnology health. That's a subject matter expertise that you will need to get into that. Relating to the question around nursing, you're correct. Because nursing is in so much demand, I can tell you that we get over 5,000 applications every year for 100 spaces in nursing. We offer nursing in collaboration with McMaster University, 100 spaces, and we get 5,000 applications. So just consider that what a number of students do is that they go through different pathways. So we have the PSW pathway, we've got the practical nursing pathway, they've got pre-health, basic and pre-health advanced, and that's usually the route that a lot of people take, as well as Heather mentioned, the biotechnology route.
Yeah, I'm good.
Pre-health one, the one you're talking. Oh, sorry, somebody's talking.
A simple thing that one.
I think somebody needs
Yeah.
to put their mic on. So my thing, Seabird, is that I had a question, or just to add something to what you're saying. It slipped me because somebody was talking. It will come back. Just keep going.
All right, while you're getting that, Ermont is asking, could application be done from now? Yes, please. If you want to start next September, I would recommend you start your applications from now, because remember, it takes time for you to get all your documents together to submit, then for the application to be reviewed at the college, then for you to start that process to pay your fees and so forth and so on. And again, that's what Heather will work with you on. So connect with Heather on her platform. She can walk you through that process, but I would recommend that you start from now. Question from Justine. How well do students juggle between work studies and extracurricular activities? Very well. One of the things that happens at Mohawk is typically most students get one full day off. So their studies are usually over a 4-day period. The way schedules are developed is, whether it be a Friday or whatever day, and typically you're only coming to school when you've got classes, and you're leaving when you're finished. And so a number of students are able to juggle their studies and have lots of time for different activities and your work. One of the caution is a number of times students come and they want to work more than the 20 hours. And so, like anywhere in the world, people are working 20 hours on the books, but they're working 40 hours off the books. And so then you get tired, you can't attend your classes, you start missing classes, missing assignments, etc. And then you start to run the risk of losing your visa status because you're starting to fail. And so we always caution students about how to manage those times, particularly for younger students. If you have never lived away from home, the challenge is always, you're now in a big country, free country, and people feel that they can travel because there are so many places and things to do. Believe me, so many places and things to do. If you're not managing yourself well, you could really get out of line. Do we stay in dorms or are responsible for other housing? You're responsible for finding your own housing. We do have residencies that are not guaranteed for any student, and so you would need to make arrangements for your housing when you're coming. You can work with different groups in the community. There are lots of community housing that are available, vetted often through our student life department, so you can reach out again through to the Mohawk College Student Association or the student life team, and they will help to guide you as to what you should and should not be accessing in terms of lease, what a rental lease should be, what should you be expecting from a landlord. The MSA provides lots of support for students on that, and free legal advice actually. So if you come and you're living in a particular place and there are issues that are arising, the Mohawk College Student Association provide free legal advice to you. All right, the lawyer comes in and you can share those things.
Okay, just one question before we take any more from the chat before I forget. There's one student in here now that this applies to, and maybe others will be, asking some questions like this. A student like who is 17 years old, I've done a couple of those before, and they're asked to do a custodian form. Sometimes the parents are asking, what does this entail? Suppose I don't have a family member in Canada, how does this work? There are lots of, just for those persons who this applies to.
Yeah, so we typically ask you to do a form because at 17, that person will be considered a minor. And so what we're doing is the college is seeking to get lots of information for that student and for that student parent who is going to be that person's guardian. And typically we ask for you to identify someone who is in the country who could stand as some kind of support. We have had students who have come with nobody, with not knowing anybody in Canada to be able to do that, but the lines of communication with their guardian in their home countries are very clear, so that in the event of something happen, that person can make the decision. And typically it's usually for whatever decision making. So let's say that person needs medical care, that person is making those decisions. If that person is in problems, needs some legal support, that there's some conversation that's happening, because again, ideally someone at 17 isn't able to make legal decisions on their own, unlike somebody else who is coming, who is an adult. And this is why it's very important, because otherwise, the countries or privacy laws are so high that we can't, for an adult, communicate nothing about a student to not even their parents. All right, unless you give us that consent to do that, and that's why we need that form to be completed.
So
question from Nicholas.
One second before you move on there. So if the student is, because the question is, let's say the student was going to be in Canada, I've seen this before in Canada, like on maybe December 24, and they turn 18 December 25. They're saying, why is it, those are the questions that are asked, but you explained it well to say, it's basically to protect them.
Yes. Because when the student land in the country, that's when immigration is concerned about. Not tomorrow when they turn 25, today, that they're 24. In the event that something happens, the government want to ensure that that person is well protected.
Thank you.
Is someone assigned to each international student upon arrival at the school? Not individually, but we have an international department where there are lots of support. It's a full office with lots of different persons who provide lots of different support. Someone will meet you at the airport. We have a welcoming group. We have an onboarding group. We have special sessions with members of the international team. So really a welcoming. We value our international students, so we really go out of the way to ensure that their experience as they are coming through the airport and the time that they are with us at the college are high touch points. Could the younger ones bring people like their mother? I'm sure they could. Again, that's an immigration piece. Anyone who's going to be traveling with an applicant, that's all left up to immigration. Once the immigration documents go in for the Canadian High Commission to make a determination as to what is your purpose for going, and having a good sense of your ability. Are you going to study? Are you going to work? What's your purpose for coming? And typically those are the questions that they ask.
No, I said the financial part has a lot to do with it too.
That's right. That's right. All right, I think those are the questions I saw.
Yeah, I think this year I'm finding a lot of students and parents are starting early, and I'm encouraging that. I don't know if I can talk to you about anything that Mohawk can do in terms of encouraging my students to start early. Like, you know, I don't know, I can suggest something to you that, you know, another college or two, they extend certain things to me, because, you know, my idea is to get them through the door early. The earlier you start is the more likely that it's going to happen for that semester, right? Because sometimes what happens is that people start too late, they underestimate how much time they need to go through the process. This year, I'm saying 1 year. I
That's
used to
right.
say 6 to 8 months, but I find that since COVID, it's not happening, right? So I go with a year, and I'm saying, you know, I'm trying to work along with colleges to say, you know, and I'm really getting persons to work with me on that, to support me on starting early. Parents call me from 4th form, 3rd form, asking for, you know, for these things to happen. And I don't know if you know that well, I think you might have missed it, but the Sagicor has partnered with me in terms of loans. So that has really pushed things far. But guess what? If they don't start early, when you talk about accessing loans and processing the loan, it takes time. A lot of people get edgy because they want to leave like next week and they just apply for the loan this week. It can't work that way, right? So I'm encouraging them really, Seabird, to start their application early, get their letter of acceptance, and they'll have time now to seek, you know, loan opportunities. Because as you know, many of the times, it's not that all of them don't want to go. Everybody in here wants to go. But guess what? It all depends on how well your planning process goes. Right? Having been doing this for over 5 years now, guys, I understand it. I know what it takes. I know that, you know, you're trying to make it happen, and, you know, last minute plans sometimes, you know, don't turn out the way it is. And guess what? I still say to persons, when you have no rush, it's easier to manage. Right, the rush thing, you know, school is going to start, you know, 2 weeks time. I don't have this, I don't have that. Another question, I don't know if anybody has asked it, but the vaccination policy is out for some colleges. I know Mohawk had it early. Is there any new information that we need to know?
No, our vaccination policy still is that students who are coming must be double vaxxed with one of the Health Canada approved vaccination. You would be required to use the Arrive Send app that's through federal government to demonstrate your vaccination status in order for you to arrive in country. So I'd say follow the immigration websites to see what travel arrangements need to look like. When you come to the college, again, in order for you to access the campus facilities, you will need to be double vaxxed, and you will also need to use the college systems to demonstrate your vaccination status. Right now, we have an app called My Mohawk that you would be required to upload your vaccination status in order to be able to access campus. It would be validated, and you would then be given permission. You will also need to upload it in the provincial platform in order for you to access places like restaurants and gyms and so forth and so on right now. So once you are accepted, we would communicate all that information to you.
Are there exemptions? I thought earlier I heard there were.
Yeah, so the province is only giving exemptions for any medical reason, and you'd need to have that medical reason confirmed by your doctor. And the Medical Doctors Association of Ontario, they've also limited what that medical exemption will be. Again, all that will be communicated to you so that you would know ideally. Yes, Pfizer is accepted. The Health Canada approved vaccines. If you go to the IRCC page, then they will tell you the ones that we have. Yep, Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Moderna. Those are the ones. Right now, can you get the vaccine when you get to Canada? You can if you do make it across the border. If you're lucky enough to come in without the vaccination, then you can get it. We have had a number of international students who were here, and the college made special arrangements for them to get the vaccines. We ran vaccination clinics at the campus and with the city of Hamilton, and a number of students got it.
So from your knowledge, any religious exemptions were given?
No. The province is not approving any religious exemption right now.
So in a case like that, the student studies online or
So right now, if your program is fully online, then you're fine. You don't need to demonstrate that. But if you need to be on campus without a medical exemption, it's a little difficult. And we've had a number of issues with students who've had to withdraw from a semester because they don't have the exemption, they're not vaccinated. And I'm sorry, the other alternative is if you have an approved exemption, you can't take the vaccine, then you've got to do regular testing. Yeah.
How often is that? Once per week, is that?
Once per week. Right now it's once per week. For programs like biotech, yes, you'll have to be on campus because of the heavy lab component. All right.
Another question, because you guys throw all the questions on me at times. So we have Dr. Adams, so that is very able to answer these questions. So give him some of them, please. People normally ask about, I'm asking questions for them. I mean, some of them might not be here now, but the questions usually come in the form of persons who may start the semester and find it difficult, financially difficult to complete it. What happens in that case? I know they normally ask Roxanne when she comes on my platform. So I'll save some of them for her because they did have a great time with her when she had lots of questions. So the question I just want to ask now is what happens, let's say a student came to you regarding some, financial difficulties, maybe unforeseen, and is there any person or contact that you would, refer them to, or you personally know people who provide financial help at times, especially Jamaicans who might come up and, to come to you and say something? What would be your advice in that case?
So we have a number of different student support. So we have financial aid advisors, we have student support advisors, we have counselors, both academic and general guidance counselors that, we ask students if they are having any particular issue, talk with someone. All right. And so these support services are available to every student to talk with someone. If students are having financial challenges, coming and talk with someone from the financial office because arrangements can often be made for payments, etc. I just got a report, for example, of one student today who's actually from Jamaica, had issues with payment, had to sit out a semester because nothing could have been done and they didn't bring it up early, but they were given time to clear up their payments and got re-registered. So lots of different ways. There's also the Mohawk College Foundation and different scholarship opportunities. Somebody asked in the chat about that. So there are always some funding parts of money that is there somewhere that can support students. I'm not suggesting in any way that these funding parts are going to be giving you $3 and $4 and $5 and $7 and $10,000 to cover all your school fees. That's not what I'm suggesting, but I'm saying if you are studying and there is any kind of difficulty, come in and talk with someone. We've had students over the years who've had difficulty even finding food or finding winter clothes and so forth and so on, and we have provided lots of support for students. Once we know, we have had students who have come in country to study, were staying with family, and whatever happens, family turned them out in the middle of winter, college has put them up in the hotel and has found housing. So we do provide lots of support for our students in whatever way we can. But we just say to students, if you're going through this, let us know. All right, and I can tell you, being Jamaican, I know that a lot of us sometimes we are very proud people and we don't like to come and say that we are suffering. But let me tell you, not when you come to this country and not when you're with the college. Believe me, and I'm serious, that the supports are so huge. We want to know. All right, and the good thing for you is that you have a Jamaican who is the vice president for student. That's what I do. I cover all of these areas. All right, and I'm Jamaican, so just tell him you want to see Seabird. Let's talk about it.
Guys, take Seabird's number. I'm just saying, those who are going up, don't be afraid to call him. I have to call Seabird to tell Seabird that's a friend. you guys have his number. Feel free to just say whatever to him, right? And that's why I'm doing all of this for networking purposes. I think my son came on to one of these meetings and said, guys, you need to say something. You need to network with people. The more people you know, they can come to your rescue, right? It's a lonely place if you don't have anybody to talk to. I've seen that. You know, you have to reach out. You know, join a lot of, you know, these clubs and societies and whatever. It's a reason for doing this, right? See, Bert, a lot of people just stick to themselves. Nobody, you know, they don't know anybody. After 2 years, guys, that's the way to get around, right? That's the way to get around. I'll see you. Mr. Seabird, could you drop your number in the chat?
I'm going to send my email rather than my number.
Okay. Networking, guys. Remember, you're going to be looking jobs. So, jobs in the area in Hamilton. One student told her parent that it's difficult to find jobs in Hamilton. All her friends that went to Fanshawe, London, in my city, they found jobs. But for some reason, maybe you need, you know, if you could just highlight some of the places that students will find jobs, because they're feeling, some of them want office jobs, but what I'm getting is that it's more in Burlington and outside of Hamilton. Is that what it is now? Because that's what I'm being told from students in the area.
All right, Heather, I'm also seeing some people from my church, so I want to give a special shout out to those people as well. Yeah, from the New Testament Church of God, a couple of people have said that they've recognized me. Yeah, I'm shouting out to those people.
Oh, really?
And that's something, and that's also something. That's also something I should mention as well for those people, especially since people are there, that I also pastor. I'm also a pastor here, still with the Church of God. So still keeping my Church of God roots, and that's something that we want to maintain, where we are supporting we look out for our church people when they come as well, and trying to integrate you in the church community. So that's great. So shout out to all the Church of God people. New Testament Church of God people
will have a church to go to when he comes there, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
See what
we'd love to have him.
Okay. Yes, I was asking about the jobs when you're ready to get onto that. Where in Hamilton? Because I'm getting some.
Yeah, so for persons who are seeking jobs, we do have career support centers on campus as well, where students go to get support with interviews. They see what jobs are available. They get help with applying for jobs. So we do have that on campus as well. And then there are so many job boards. The main one that is used by many Canadians is one that's called Indeed.ca. I'm going to type that in the chat. So people, you can start looking for jobs even from now. So if you go to Indeed.ca, just put in what you want, and lots of people find jobs available through that, but you also get lots of support from the college.
Very good. Thank you very much for that. Other places that you can work, I mean, it's general in Canada, guys. You can look for work in the restaurants, the fast food restaurants. We have many, like Walmart. You have the most of them have a McDonald's beside it. You have Timmy's, Tim Hortons. I've seen where I can help out with some. I'm just going through my memory. Persons, I don't know if things are opening up back now.
Yeah, things are opening. There are lots of jobs on campus as well. We do have some campus jobs that people can also get.
Heard that, guys, and lots of them are in here, campus jobs.
Yeah, there are campus jobs, so look out for those. You see, it's very important, and this is why it's important for you to stay in touch with your MSA, the Mohawk Student Association, or look for information on the Mohawk College career website as well. There are lots of jobs that are always available, student jobs that are also available for you to be able to access. A lot of students work in the community, work in the hospitals, work in, there are a lot of data entry companies, a lot of up and coming companies are within the Hamilton area. So I think once things begin to open up, and so again, one of the challenges, as is with anywhere with the pandemic, things have slowed down a little bit. As soon as things begin to open up and unfold, you will notice that there are lots of additional opportunities that will be opened up.
Just highlight to them how important volunteering is. I think in Jamaica we are kind of, a bit, that word is like not a word that they deal with, right?
That's what is going to get you started. People look for that. They look for that on your resume. We offer a program at the college that is called co-curricular, and we actually have volunteerism that we get students to get involved in during their time at the college, and we give awards for persons who get involved in volunteer work. And so that becomes a part of your transcript. So anybody who you are applying to, it shows up on your official record. It's called co-curricular activity. And so get involved in somewhere when you come. Find a home, find somewhere that's looking about children, find one of the YMCAs, the YWCA, find somewhere and volunteer. Believe me, it makes a lot of difference. It makes a world of difference. The advantage that students who go to high school over here will have over you is that it's a part of their high school graduation. Every student who goes to high school must complete, I don't remember the hours of voluntary activity that they must do, but they've got to complete a number of hours of volunteerism in order for them to get their high school diploma. And so when they're going to college, they've got that under their belt because that's being taught to them from early.
Yeah, thank you very much for that.
All right, so I've dropped my email in the chat. So drop me an email anytime and any question you've got. Again, Heather is your first point, and so whatever, Heather and I chat often, and I know I'm always busy, you'd imagine, but at some point I'll respond to her. But so you'll work through Heather. She's got lots of information on the process. Anything that I can help and support with, please drop me an email and I'll be in touch with you as well. But really happy to be here with you tonight and to just share anything to help my family. All right, because that's what Jamaica is. We're family. And Heather, by the way, my sister is also on the line.
What's that?
My blood sister is also on the line from Jamaica as well.
What's her name?
Kadian.
She wants to be identified. I want to see her. Yeah, Seabird has, we run jokes, we do anything. I mean, yeah, that was our Jamaica side and we took it to Canada. So I'm part of your family and you didn't know, right?
That's right. That's right. So anything to support you. So I was really happy to come and share with you. And again, like I said, send me an email, anything. Send it to Heather, she gets to me, send it to me. We'll do whatever we can. And when you do get here, let me know. I'm not in the weeds with the graduations, with the application. So, I won't know when your application comes in and what's happening with it. Because that's not where I am. But when anything else, just let me know. I'll happy to support anyway.